Yes, good afternoon. It's everybody's favourite time of the day once again. Welcome to SirToshi's, or your daily dose of SirToshi's news. Today's day is Saturday the 30th of September 2023, the year of BSV. Buy BSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online, the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Right, today we are talking about this. Talk about explosive stuff. This is massive. There is so much kicking off in the space right now. I was just like, right, let's weigh in on this and see what is going on. Thanks to Nom for finding all these articles for me and everybody else adding to it so we can put these things together. So let's get into it and find out what is going on. So first of all, we have this post here from a CAH, Christian Ager Hansen. He has said, I can confirm I have departed from N-Chain Global as its group CEO with immediate effect after reporting several serious issues to the board of N-Chain Group, including what I believe is a conspiracy to defraud N-Chain shareholders orchestrated by a significant shareholder. I also had concerns about the ultimate beneficiary shareholder and the real people behind DW Discovery Fund registered in Cayman. The chairman also took instruction from shadow directors, which I didn't accept. Sounds conspiratorial. I've also reported that I have found compelling evidence that Dr. Craig Wright has manipulated documents with the aim to deceive the court he is Satoshi. I'm today myself convinced that Dr. Craig Wright is not Satoshi, and I'm persuaded he will lose all of his legal battles. Right, well, we will get into this in a minute because that statement is just absolutely ridiculous. Well, about Craig not being Satoshi. I can prove all day long that he is Satoshi because he is the only one that is maintaining the network with any economic value. That is it. There is nobody is going to create something that is valueless. Craig is the only one maintaining the Bitcoin protocol with any economic value. It's that simple. A crime is either a crime of passion or it's an economic crime in which you just simply follow the money. So if you want to find out what's happened to Bitcoin, you simply follow the money. Where is the value? The value is in the chain that is economically commoditized, and the only chain that is economically commoditized is the original Bitcoin protocol that goes right the way back to the Genesis block, that starts with the number one legacy addresses, and through social engineering and manipulation and skullduggery behind the scenes, it has simply had to change its ticker symbol 3 times to BSV. That is it in a nutshell. So let's carry on then. The board didn't take action and my job becomes clearly untenable. One of the things I recommended the chairman of the board was to sack Dr. Craig Wright. Well, that was absolutely ridiculous. I feel sorry for all the great people that work in the company, but I don't want to be part of something I clearly don't believe in. Look, and he's even hashtagged fake Toshi. Seriously? How old are we? Honestly. Like 12 years old again. Oh my goodness me. So anyway, let's find out a bit more about him because I don't know much about him. But this was an article in the Financial Post dated 24th of November 2017. It says here, I'm a street fighter, notorious one-time open text pursuer, sets sights on media empire. Norwegian Christian Ager Hansen, with a string of spectacular business failures and a Trumpian fondness for fibbing, has made a hostile bid for Britain's Johnston Press. All right, well, it's not exactly a favourable opening subtitle there, is it? Just reading what's under the picture. Christian Ager Hansen recently told The Telegraph he was Audin's gift to journalism and corporate governance, despite having once issued fake news as part of a brazen attempt to take over Waterloo. Ont-based Open Text Corp. Oh my goodness me, what is this? The media world would freak out if US President Donald Trump tried to acquire the New York Times, and not just because his tweets routinely attack the credibility of mainstream news. The last thing newspapers need today is a less than truthful owner known for bankruptcies. But nobody is loudly sounding the alarm in the UK, where a notorious Norwegian with a string of spectacular business failures and Trumpian fondness for fibbing claims to be serious about consolidating the industry, starting with a hostile bid for one of Britain's oldest media empires. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. Quote here, I want to be the next Murdoch for the new age of newspapers, Christian Ager Hansen recently told The Telegraph, billing himself as Odin's gift to journalism and corporate governance, despite having once issued fake news as part of a brazen attempt to take over Waterloo Aront-based Open Text Corp. After acquiring Sweden's Metro Free Sheet in February, Ager Hansen's Custos Group is now laying siege to Johnson's Press plc, publisher of about 200 titles including The Scotsman. The 250-year-old company was once worth billions, but its market value now sits around $25 million thanks to declining revenue and $370 million in high-yield debt. Custos in August started scooping up Johnson's Press shares amid speculation that a debt of equity swap was inevitable. Ever since, Ager Hansen has threatened to oust board chair Camelia Rhodes and chief executive Ashley Highfield, labelling them as fee suckers who can't be trusted to do anything except toss investors under the restructuring bus. Disruption here. By deploying his personal brand of innovative disruption, Ager Hansen insists he can restore company revenue growth with big data initiatives such as trading targeted eyeballs for equity in startups. What about that debt? No problem, he said, claiming cheaper lenders were lined up before he became a shareholder. As part of his past, Ager Hansen warns critics nobody can stop his empire building. If people screw me, he told The Telegraph, I screw them 10 times harder. I'm a street fighter. I'm a crazy MFer. Oh my goodness me. To date, the only group appearing to mess with Ager Hansen is his own M&A team. That's the quote there. The original strategy was to quickly force Johnson's Press to hold an extraordinary general meeting, EGM, aiming to replace most directors and install Ager Hansen as chairman, with former Evening Standard chief executive Stephen Auckland serving as his top executive. Plan A was ditched in October after Custos said it had missed a clause in Johnson's Press bond agreements that called for immediate repayment of debt if most existing board members are ousted. Without explaining why refinancing was suddenly a problem, Ager Hansen retreated while expressing outrage on behalf of good governance lovers everywhere. He then increased his stake in Johnson's Press to more than 20%, making Custos its largest shareholder, while former major investor Crystal Amber and hedge fund started cutting bait. Alex Salmond, Plan B, introduced in early November, called for the heads of just two directors. Auckland remained on the active list, but Alex Salmond, Scotland's former First Minister, who led the independence movement in 2014, replaced Ager Hansen as candidate for chairman. At this point, Custos finally requested that an extraordinary general meeting, but it screwed up the paperwork. Meanwhile, Salmond started ruffling feathers by indicating he'd leave financial matters to Ager Hansen and focus on making The Scotsman, which opposed independence, more Scottish. By mid-November, Salmond's fitness to chair a British media empire was also called into question by a chat show deal he struck with a Russian broadcaster seen as propaganda tool for the Kremlin. I mean, this is on fire. This is on fire. My goodness me. I might actually just read that to myself just for sheer entertainment purposes. My goodness me. So this is another one by Christian Ager Hansen, who has just put this tweet out. It's quite big, but let's see what's going on here. So he said, I wonder who sent this email and who it was sent to. It was forwarded to me by someone. Headline was as follows. My last direct communication on this issue, please read carefully, dated 23rd of September. Judge by yourself, please. As I sit here, I am on a beach in southern Spain. I have a good life. I have every intention of keeping it that way. Right now, the only negative in my life is your litigation disaster and getting old, but that one I cannot fix. I will accept your explanation that you did not actually threaten me, so the following is the situation we find ourselves in. I have been operating under the assumption that you and Ramona have the keys and that you were simply pretending not to have them as part of some strategy that you have trapped yourself in. But now that we are looking at a situation where continuing to deny you have them ruins your life and damages your supporters, I'm forced to make a tough decision. It no longer matters if you have the keys or not, as it is my opinion based on evidence from Zafar and others that you cannot win the COPA trial if you do not sign at Harvard, so I have no choice in what I have to do. This, of course, will also mean that you lose all other cases. Well, I mean, there's just assuming. You can't have assumption. You need facts. This is interesting. Other than maybe the token theft case, but to me, losing COPA even puts this at risk, as COPA will set precedent that you are not Satoshi in law. All IP other than N-chain patents will disappear. This means that you are not going to be able to get a court to declare that you own any tokens either. We have also verified that there is no complete paper trail evidencing the trust owning any tokens. This after nearly a year of Zurich reviewing all of the evidence you have, this means you cannot repay me the money you owe me for all the litigation to date. Well, I wonder who this is. This means obviously it's an email sent to Craig. This means every cent spent on your case is me pissing away my kid's inheritance. If you have the keys, your best play is now to use them. Not really. Going to jail for perjury, but having the entire world accept you are a flawed Satoshi is infinitely better than losing this case and only being considered likely to be a flawed Satoshi after your death by historians, as no other realistic person is ever found. However, it's my opinion that once this world accepts you are a flawed Satoshi, everything changes and all of this just goes away. I can make it all go away. In fact, there is zero reason to continue pretending you do not have the keys if you really have them. Side bonus is that using the keys in this way, combined with a verdict in Florida, will likely be an accepted replacement for proper paperwork for financial institutions. So either you were a moron for intentionally losing the case, well, he didn't lose the case, or you are a moron for actually not having the keys. Either way, I'm not following you over the cliff, and I actually have concerns with Stefan. Oh, so who could this be? Even being a witness, as I know what they will do to him for this. My opinion is, having watched this play out over the years, is that it's clear you are hopelessly bad at litigation. The only reason you won in Florida is the other side got greedy and tried to both steal your shit and ruin your reputation, and this was conflicting agendas and so confused the jury. The other side will not be making this mistake in London. To me, I'm doing you and your supporters a favour. I will cover this in CoinGeek as us still being sure you are Satoshi, even as it's clear that you were run over by the combined forces of Silicon Valley, US payments companies, and the entire crypto world. We will say that we believe you did forge some documents to replace ones you destroyed earlier to try to pretend you were not Satoshi. We will say this because your Asperger's makes you not think and act like an adult. You're like a super smart teenager. This is not how this would play out in the media if we spend toe-to-toe with COPA. And they still win, which is what is most likely, in addition to the massive waste of my kids' wealth. To be continued below. Oh my God. Sounds like it might have been from Calvin, but I'm suspecting. It was quite a long time ago, and Craig is absolutely right. Possession is not proof of ownership. That certainly wouldn't have done anybody any favors back then. Now, however, because literally the COPA case is it. This is it. Everything comes down to this. You need to come out guns blazing with everything that you've got. This is it. Obviously, because we know the Tulip Trust was going to be used back in end of sort of 2020, rolling iceberg orders and all that. That would have been devastating. Now, though, the fate of the world hinges on this. It's gonna be epic. We will see. Stay tuned. So Kurt has just put this out. Bless his cotton socks. Have a listen.
Hey everybody, make sure you tune in on Tuesday at 2 to get the skinny on all the stuff that's going on. Like, subscribe, hit the alert bell, all that stuff. The CoinGeek Weekly live stream is just a few days away. Yes, I heard the breaking news. No, I'm not going to tell you about it unless you tune in. Tune into the show. Tune in!
Yeah, there we go. Just like CoinGeek to be to not really strike while the iron's hot. That's right. Yeah. So things are happening now, and what we'll do is we're going to wait till Tuesday. Even though everybody wants to hear what's going on now, we're not going to tell you because we can't. Honestly, meant to be a media company. I mean, I know Kurt's got his hands tied by the marketing manager. You know, shocking. Just get one done. So anyway, with regard to Craig being Satoshi, and again, it doesn't really matter that he is Satoshi or not, because what matters are these 5 fundamental pillars of the network. Bitcoin, the genuine Bitcoin, which is now BSV, is the only one that has these 5 elements in place that make it a digital commodity. If you do not have all of these 5 in place, it is an economically worthless, centrally controlled security offering. So literally, this is what you need. There are 2 structural elements. 1, the network must be economically competitive, because without competition, you simply get collusion and centralization. It's economic competition that keeps everything, for want of a better word, decentralized. If it's not competitive, it is centrally controlled. That's it. There is no middle ground. So proof of work is what's required as a consensus mechanism. 2, there must be a chain of digital signatures to create common accountability so that blame cannot be reassigned and everybody is individually equally responsible for the way that they use the network and upload data to it. Dynamic, there must be a locked protocol so no one can change it and therefore no one controls it and it's common to everyone. 4, there must be unbounded capacity so that limitations and restrictions cannot be manufactured and therefore the network not be manipulated. And last of all, the network must have a fixed asset supply so that no one can inflate or deflate it. That is it. So it doesn't matter if Craig is Satoshi or not. This is what matters. This is the key to absolutely everything. And only BSV has this. This is it. That is literally it. So, well, Craig isn't Satoshi. Who cares? Who cares? The fact is, he is the only one stewarding the network with these 5 elements in place that make it valuable, as it had when it first started. And nobody else understands this. Crazy. Elliot here posted a good question here. He said, who do you really work for? With regard to Christian Ager Hansen saying, blocked by Craig Wright and Calvin Ayre and all that. Yeah, exactly. Who do you work for? Why were you doing this? Fake Toshi and all that. What a load of rubbish. So, Craig has already got copyright of the Bitcoin white paper. He's already effectively been found to be the owner of the Satoshi coins from the Ira Kleiman case. He's the only one that actually understands how Bitcoin really and truly works, not just within the law, but economically, and also cryptographically and coding. And everything. I mean, the evidence that he is Satoshi Nakamoto is overwhelming. But it really all boils down to is the protocol economically valuable? Whoever it was that implemented SegWit removed all economic value and contractual credibility, immediately rendering it economically worthless. BTC has no value whatsoever, and they know it. And again, all you do is you can see the changes reflected in the legacy addresses. That is it. SegWit says it all. You are segregating the digital signatures from the transaction data. It is fraud. You are tampering with signatures. That is it. It is fraud. It doesn't matter if the signatures are digital or written. If you are tampering with signatures, it is fraud. End of. And that's what BCH has done. That's what BTC has done. The only one that hasn't tampered with the signatures is the genuine Bitcoin protocol, which is BSV. That is it. Whew. So a response here from Calvin. He said the board took action, fired everyone incompetent, suspended all useless lackeys, and is doing a number of third-party investigations. Nchain is fine, as it will now be fully integrated into my global group now that I am majority shareholder. All right, nice. He also said Craig is fine, started his own company, and they are working for Nchain as technology advisor. Very good. Again, just referring to another one asking questions, he said, Guy was fired for being useless. BSV has a global monopoly on unbounded scaling, because they've got the patents for it. Again, because the protocol needs to be protected by externally by patents. And again, Craig created the technology. He created blockchain. So they have the scaling on the patents on unbounded scaling and nano payments. And nChain has the world's largest suite of blockchain IP focused on the tech. My friends. Very good. And Calvin has also confirmed here. He said, nChain is fine. I'm the majority owner and I will now put in place Air Group management systems. The same as in all my other successful companies. Craig has created his own company but will continue to work with nChain. Full speed ahead for BSV. Great stuff. And Craig has also posted out here. He said, sorry to disappoint my anti-fans. I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still here consulting with Bitcoin companies, including nChain. I decided it was not necessary to hold an official role with nChain, as there are excellent operators there who are able to take it, and I can work with multiple BSV companies to further Bitcoin. Right now, I have a case to win. Yes, indeed, we do. And Diego, or Rushui at Electronic Cash has said, breaking, PayPal files patent for NFT transfer and trading, but can someone warn them that Dr. Craig Wright has already done this and the patent was started in May 2017? And then he's listed the link to the patents here. That's absolutely hilarious. So there we go. That is a 21-minute show. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.